Good evening. Tonight, our topic is the Split Widens. Our inquiry question is, why did tension and conflict increase in the colonies? So if you remember, we've discussed the different taxes, the Sugar Act, the Stamp Act, that were placed on the colonists as a result of debt created during the French and Indian War. As more acts and taxes were placed on the colonists, we see tension, we see conflict start to build within the colonies. So tonight, it is the Split Widens. The repeal of the Stamp Act did little to end British attempts to tax colonists. For the colonists, 1767 was another year, another tax from England. That year, Parliament implemented the Townshend Acts. This new set of taxes was an importation tax on items such as glass, silk, paper, lead, and tea. This infuriated the colonists, and their tactics seen during the Stamp Act quickly reappeared. Not only was England taxing the colonists, they were also allowed to use writs of assistance on the colonists. These legal documents permitted custom officers to inspect incoming ships, cargo, and homes without any given reason. Yet again, the colonies flamed into protest. Groups such as the Sons of Liberty and Daughters of Liberty were gaining members. They took their fight to newspapers, letters, and pamphlets. They even convinced many merchants and planters to sign non-importation agreements to stop importing goods taxed by the Townshend Acts. The Sons of Liberty formed during the Stamp Act, and they protested many British policies to protect the liberties of the colonists, while the Daughters of Liberty pledged to only wear dresses spun in the colonies. Members of these groups included Paul Revere, John Hancock, Sam Adams, and Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry was a self-educated statesman from Virginia. Henry, like many colonists, was furious at the actions of Parliament. He was even accused of treason by some. However, Henry replied, "If this is treason, make the most of it. The war has actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty, or give me death." Along with Patrick Henry, Sam Adams, a failed businessman and poor speaker, wrote articles opposing British laws. At the same time, England was forcing colonists to pay for the housing of British soldiers in the Quartering Act. Colonists saw this as just one more attempt from England to tax the colonies. With all these taxes, British soldiers in the colonies in England, seeming to not hear any of the colonists' concerns, tempers were rising. The soldiers in Boston were a daily reminder of Britain trying to bully colonists into paying taxes. These tempers got so heated that on the night of March 5th, 1770, shots rang out. Colonists were calling the British soldiers lobsterbacks and throwing garbage and snowballs at the soldiers. Within moments of tensions rising, shots were fired, and 5 colonists lay dead in the streets. Among them was Crispus Attucks, a black sailor active in the Sons of Liberty. Paul Revere, a Boston silversmith, wasted no time engraving a picture of the event. His depiction shows the dead and wounded colonists as mere innocent bystanders being massacred by the redcoats. This was not the case, however. Revere's picture spread throughout the colonies, and outrage grew. On the day of the Boston Massacre, Parliament repealed the Townshend Acts, with the exception of the tax on tea. With this, a few years of calm came to the colonies. During this time, committees of correspondence were set up to keep colonists informed of British actions. So as we see, the British government places more taxes and in the colonists' eyes takes freedoms away from them, we see tensions rise. We see conflicts start to grow. These are all causes of the American Revolution. They're starting to build. Things are getting worse. The relationship between Britain and the colonies is getting weaker. And it's going to continue to build. Come prepared to class on Monday, ready to discuss how the split widens. We're going to look more into the Boston Massacre. And tomorrow, you will be working with the substitute on understanding and the details of the Boston Massacre and the Boston Tea Party. Have a good evening.